this year as well, have you signed a deal with Inquisition?
Yeah, we've just signed a management deal with Inquisition, and they're already doing some stuff for us. That's quite nice. It's great when somebody else from another organisation takes an interest in what you're doing,
yeah,
and wants to promote you. And their ethic is very much concentrated on the music and the experience. The money is secondary, so that feels good because you know, we're not in it for the money. God knows.
It was quite nice actually, because how it came around is John, the guy who's managing us as part of Inquisition, he put on a night for a band called Faces of Sarah, and I did some work with them a few months ago.
Some sessions.
Yeah, just session work, and we were given the opening slot, and you know, we were like a child in a bunch of priests. It was like we stood out. You know, like yeah, because all the other acts were like goth acts, and no real connection even to our industrial stuff. We were still a million light years apart. But the
gig's a gig.
Yeah, gig's a gig. But John like took this really nice shine to us, and a few days after the gig, we got an email going, "Oh, you guys were awesome. You know, I mean, you know, you're on the wrong bill, but yeah, like yeah, we knew that." And so we was expecting this like half-assed, like funny email, like you know, and nothing else came to come of it. But no, he said, "I really like you. You know, do you want a management deal? Here's the terms." Like, yeah, actually, that's pretty sweet. You'll take that. Yes.
The kind of connection there, though, is that in Faces of Sarah at the moment, there's a guy called Eddie Crofton Martin who's playing with them, who'd also played with us. He depped for us an emergency when Simon wasn't available. We were committed to a gig, so you know, we didn't want to blow the gig, and Eddie stepped in and kindly did that. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a range of musicians, it may be in different genres, different styles, but they're kind of brought together by their passion and their authenticity. So the Renaissance Festival, which we're going to be playing May the 26th, is organised by a guy called Ice, and he's in a band called Decur. And his ethic is very much about getting people together, even if it might be punk or metal or some thing that's almost unclassifiable. Bring them together because their spirit and their energy, there's almost a kind of politics behind it with a very small p, about what they represent and working together and caring about the community that you're playing for, and we have a lot of respect for that. So we're you know, I'm really not tribal when it comes from that point of view. You know, I'd probably rather go out for a drink with George Michael than James Hetfield. You know, but I don't particularly want to listen to music. Yeah.
What I was just trying to do is pretty much what Johnny's trying to do with Hammerfest and Hard Rock Hell. You know, he's just trying to bring everyone together for like a cracking time. I mean, the guy he's always on it. You know, he's in the studio with his band or in the studio with other bands or doing he mixes our stuff for us when we ask him, and we'll slip him a bottle of vodka or something with it.
Have you noticed when you come off stage, he's nearly always there with handing you a shot?
Yeah.
It's great. When you get off, drink, so like, oh. Yeah. Which is annoying before you got to go on stage. I'm trying to stay sober, I've got a gig in a few hours. He's like, "Do you want a drink?" "No." But as soon as you get off, there he is with a shot.
Like a bottle of Absolut, like,
yes, now we drink.
Yeah, we absolutely love Ice to bits. He's such a great guy.
Yeah. But we're hoping, as I say, we're hoping to get AK out, this album, in the autumn. And what we're going to do with it, it's going to be a full-length album. Yeah. And it's going to have that metal stuff on it, and then we're going to have also some tunes we've been writing lately, which has got the electronica and the metal. And the ambition is to try to bring them together, and for that to work, you know. And because we've got this one producer who's working with us, we're confident that's going to happen. Yeah. And you know, also, my girlfriend's in a band called Tribazic, and they're trying to break the market in the conventional way with PR and the rest of it. And we just thought, you know what, we can't afford that, so we're just producing music piecemeal, recording as we go, rehearsing as we go, which feels that you're being more productive, you're in the public eye a little bit more. And when we get to the autumn, we'll maybe have 10-15 tunes ready, we'll remaster, and then we'll have a CD, and maybe make, you know, a limited run of high quality pressings. The rest is going to be downloads. So.
Well, that'd be cool. That would be really, really cool. What about the artwork on the albums as well?
That'd be me. That'd be my twisted mind as an art student. Yeah. Yes. So I'm always taking photos and coming up with messed up ideas. I'm not playing guitar. I'm sort of like sitting around playing with Photoshop and doing messed up things. And
Taking naughty pictures of ladies with no clothes on.
Yeah, it's art. I'd like to say.
It's a sick puppy.
Yeah, it's a hobby, but which turns into some really cool. You see, sometimes you do a picture and you think that looked good on an album cover. Luckily, I'm in a band, so I can do it. So.
Yeah.
So like we've just come up with a decent T-shirt design, which we've got Sabrina's a model for.
Sabrina's my
other half, and she
Which
come down the
places
street.
colours?
I needed to do this photo shoot today to get the artwork done in time. And she come down the street, but she wasn't feeling very well. But she still sat there and it was great because I was looking for someone who looked quite ill in the shot, and she's just sat there looking at me like hell. I thought that's a great look, brilliant. So
I'm sorry, it feels so bad though.
Yeah. Yes. So she thinks she got random food poisoning, but I wasn't. I poisoned her food just for the.
And he didn't care.
Yes. It's for our fun. But yeah, that's good fun. Yeah.
Also, the Sixes album has an apple, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Sixes album cover. If you look at it, it's like this deformed little shrunken head. That was an apple. I was just decided I wanted to do a shrunken head, so I decided I would carve it out of an apple, and shrunk it using salt water to see. It looked up this really messed up little fucking head thing, and I thought I'm going to make an album cover out of it. And because it was made out of an apple, and it was like on an album cover, my missus at the time said Frank Zapple. I thought that's an awesome name for his head. You should have called the album Frank Zapple.
That should be our mascot, actually, Frank Zapple.
Frank Zapple. Yeah. And I've still got him somewhere. He's shrunk down to about that big. He's just looked like this deformed little head, and he's still hanging around.
And you got,
what is he talking about?
Frank Zapple, the Sixes, the Sixes cover.
No.
The apple, Pete, the apple.
Oh, right. Now I remember.
Yes.
And then you got Cosmic Curse, which is a dead baby in a munitions box.
Yeah. Yes.
Why? Why not?
Nothing says metal more than a dead baby in a suitcase, I find. And it was like,
What do you think?
People look at the album cover and they go, oh, and then you explain to what they're and they're like, ew. And either they love it or hate it. But most people go,
That's really
cool.
sweet. My girlfriend at the time absolutely hated it. She's like, oh no, you can't have dead babies on an album cover. And Simon photoshopped her a Barbie on it.
I done a whole new album cover and called it Cosmic Barbie and gave it to her. I thought she was going to chin me. She went, oh, thank you very much.
So let me apologise to all you Christian metalers out there.
Yeah.
No offence.
Yeah. And then we got all. That's the woman's face, isn't it?
Yeah, that was that was
Something just thrown together. Yeah.
That just happened. That was when we was doing the website. I was coming up with the designs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be doing some more with that actually.
Yeah, and we're also sort of trying to come up with new, or make him come up with new artwork for the new album, unless he's already done it.
I have a few ideas.
Yeah.
They will be involving needles and blood. Yes.
Yeah.
And your scrotum.
Oh man! Again?
Not again! Come on, man, it's art. It's art.
I suppose. All right. Not the left one this time, though.
You have to.
Give it time to heal.
It's all in the name of the band and the music.
Exactly. Yeah. You must suffer for your art.
Yeah.
There's a question which I sort of like to ask, which comes down to the ultimate fantasy of the band.
Sorry, the band. Okay.
Yeah. We do personal fantasies off tape, so
Later.
yeah. Now, obviously, with the four of you and where you've been around quite well, but you've got the brand new album, obviously coming out this year as well. If you could take one of your tracks and choose any other say 3-4 bands which you really like who have influenced you to perform one of your tracks on stage with you, what track would you choose and where would you like the location to be?
Wow, I might need to turn the camera up for a bit. That's a pretty... I need to think about that.
Jesus.
I kind of want to give a serious answer, but I'm also thinking something odd. You know, like the completely wrong person, just so like, hey, look, you fucking Madonna.
Well, I think my one of my favourite venues in London is it's called Coco now, but it's been the Mean Machine, it's been the Camden Palace, and it has an incredible heritage. I think that would probably be the venue.
Yeah.
And the band for me, one of the bands I really admire. I mean, they're crazy as hell, but I really admire Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for a long time and at high quality. And I doubt Jazz would do it, but I'd quite like to do one of our tunes called Grieve, which is pretty nasty song.
I'd say, you know, what would make Grieve sound really good? I can't remember his name. The sugar guitarist.
Yeah.
If Grieve was played by him,
what are you saying, Scott?
that would sound. I don't know. I think your bowels would void. It would be.
But he's got one extra string. He plays an 8 string. I can play a 7.
Well,
I'm sorry.
sort it out, Simon.
I'm sorry. I shall bring my 32 string guitar down next week.
Good.
I should cover all.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous feeling as fronting this band. It's a fabulous feeling actually being in front of these guys.
Jamie, say something. What?
Shut the fuck
I
up.
was on sleep, but my eyes are open. No, go on.
See, did you get any sleep?
No, I didn't know.
You were clubbing last night.
I'm sorry.
It's a fabulous feeling being in front of these guys when I'm delivering my stuff. It's like floating on this kind of cloud where it's all happening and the support is there, and then it leaves you free to, be a fool.
Go batshit crazy on stage.
Absolutely.
Rolling around like you're on meth.
I just thought when the
I don't do
Carpenters
that so much anymore.
the Carpenters do Nothing Ever Change. Can you imagine Karen Carpenter belting that out?
I don't know.
She would disintegrate because she was so thin. Those low notes, she'd pile of Karen Carpenter dust on stage. That'd be a great gimmick.
See, I said lots of nice things about these guys. No one said anything nice
Shut
about
up,
them.
Pete.
He's the youngest guy in the band. He's the most grown up by a long way.
You're all right.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
You're
all right.
I'll sell for that.
What I want to ask is, how come James has got the only normal name?
Jamie, because
he's so
no,
abnormal.
Stop. Jamie, why?
I don't know what it is actually. Why is it? You never gave me a nickname, that's why.
Arbifar.
Oh.
Arbifar T.
There we go.
Fruitbat, the drummer.
Perfect. I like it.
Leroy T5.
You sometimes get called Tatters, or
yes,
Tatnell,
yeah.
or Jay. What did you call yourself? Like one of your monikers for your remixes? Jamie does like loads of remixes of our tunes. Like if a tune isn't electronic, or sometimes the electronic ones as well, you like chop them up and stick them in this like blender of like a cacophony of other electronic sounds and spurt out this really cool sounding remix. And he'd like come up with the most outrageous names for himself.
It's
What's
just
one?
the first thing that pops into my head.
Go on,
Really?
what was one? I
I
can't
don't
remember.
know, what is one?
I don't know.
Can't even remember.
Dixie Licks?
Yeah.
Call myself that? I don't know what
Yeah, Dixie Licks.
The truth is, Claire, that our nickname thing is slightly half-hearted and inconsistent. They were given to us at various points, and sometimes I just can't be bothered. Sorry.
I can't remember how I got mine. Just prop them off, but just.
It rhymes, right? It's like Elvis the Pelvis.
Someone said it.
You're not even
But my favourite one, no. Shh. But my favourite one that I was given recently is when I was doing the Work for Faces of Sarah, a gig in Poland, and not the keenest of flyers, so I proceeded to get pretty intoxicated before I got on the plane, and then spent the rest of the night getting drunk on £1 pints in this bar, and the band manager, like this huge Polish ex-firefighter,
Man Mountain.
he decided that he wanted to do shots with me, and in the end he bought me this whole bottle. He said, "No, this one's for you, this one's for me, drink." And you're like, okay. Last thing I remember. And the lights switched off, and I was, you're thinking to yourself, well, if I'm not in control, and I don't remember not being in control, who was in control? But thrown from that, I spent the whole night, apparently, continuing drinking, even though I had no idea what was going on, couldn't remember.
Where you were, who you were.
Who I was, or how I got back. But I went to the same bar the next night, and the locals just called me the Stone Man, because none of them realised how incredibly fucked up I was. I was just like sat there quietly, or just not talking, just knocking back pints and shots, and didn't fall over.
How did you get
Stone Man?
How did you get Wolf Hunter? You're supposed to ask the questions, right?
Yeah.
Fine.
No, Wolf Hunter.
It's Soviet Russia. Interview me that question.
Stems back from many years ago, when we used to do medieval reenacting. Basically, I played part of my role was that of an assassin. Now, the assassin, also known as the Wolf Hunter,
Alright.
was the nickname which I was taken, but it stems even further back as well, because Wolf Hunter's known is my road name, and it was also given to me by a Cherokee Indian chief.
Cool.
As well. So that is I've either shortened it to Wolf, or it's been formed Wolf Hunter, and it's a lot easier to use that than my given name, because half the time people can't even pronounce it.
And that's a much more interesting story than the one.
What about Skizzy? Wasn't it?
That was because me and a friend were in a bar once drinking, and we were both having girlfriend trouble. So we thought, we're just going to go out. We're not going to talk to girls. We're just going to get drunk, have a fucked up time, and drinking. So we was at the bar, and for some stupid reason, 2 girls started coming up to us and started chatting to us. And we were not in the mood to talk to women. We both had girl trouble. It was like blah. So they got to the point they were just like talking to us, and we were sort of like saying, not being nasty to them, but just sort of like giving them one-word answers. And they said, "So what's your names then?" And I just, my friend just turned around. This is my friend Skizzy Newgrotter, and this is my friend Torquil Fungicide. And they looked at us, and then they backed away. And so it was just sort of like a drunken thing, just to get rid of some people, and then they stuck. So ever since then, yeah.
We've never looked forward.
Yes. Never looked sideways. But it worked. They backed away.
I'm sure they just didn't realise how bad you look.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
So there was a blind school across the road.
Oh God!
Back away.
I'm so glad you haven't asked us what our influences are. It's such a dull question. Is it? Or is it me?
Well, I like talking about my influences.
Yeah, what are your influences, Scott?
I don't know. I like sex. That's a big
Bands, you fool.
Pop lyrics.
But no, sex is an influence in music, because I need a good song that I can have sex to. If it's got good rhythm, you can keep the flow
Why aren't you
going.
in Motley Crue then?
You like
Do I look queer to you?
you like Sabaton. I mean,
Sabaton are awesome.
where's the
awesome
sex in
band.
Sabaton?
Do you like Sabaton, Wolf? They were at Hammerfest a few years ago.
Yeah, some of their stuff I like.
Yeah.
Guarded,
I have to be,
guarded.
I have to be very guarded.
Diplomatic.
Which is unusual for me to be diplomatic.
Sabaton are awesome.
Don't bother.
They're a great singer
on his account.
If I wouldn't cite them as an influence, they're awesome to watch live. But I'd say my influences would have to be Larry Graham, a funk bass player. Awesome, insane. He is the guy who invented the slap pop technique. And Geezer Butler, which is an obvious choice. I mean, but not because of who he is, it's what he does. It's when you listen to like a song like Heaven and Hell, and it'd be like on the running riff, like dun, 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 and then out there just go doo, 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 doo. Ah, so cool. I absolutely love it when bass players like throw in something like that, because you're changing what would normally be considered a somewhat boring part in just throwing in like a little thing like that, and you're like, ah, cool, nice. And in terms of bands, I mean, Pink Floyd have been like an amazing part of my life. I mean, when I first listened to them, my dad thought it'd be a good idea to say, "Here, son, listen to Echoes." And you're like, okay, like listening to this fucking 25-minute song. Like, at 8 years old, it's like, what is this? Yeah, that bit in the middle, that 10-minute bit in the middle, you're like,
So 8 years old, you can fall asleep and wake up and
you're
it's
just
still
like,
playing.
what is going on with this strange stuff? This isn't music, but I dug out. We had the Dark Side of the Moon album as well, and I was like, oh, okay, let's give this a listen, yeah. And I'd figured out how to work the record player, and I was like, sat there like, yeah, this isn't bad. And the Beatles have been a big part of my life. They were actually pretty much the first band that I listened to.
Yeah.
You know, was walking around HMV like in Croydon, coming from the car park, and the quickest way to get through the shopping centre is walking through HMV. And I picked up this Beatles album because it was red and, you know, the #1 album, and I was like, oh, cool, this is a pretty colour. And I said, I want this one. No idea who the Beatles were or what they sounded like, and my folks bought it for me. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I think one of the welcome developments in metal over the last 20 years has been the move away just from anger or from trying to shock and just trying to be extreme, and trying to embrace more kind of emotionality and a complexity of feeling, and listen to, you know, whatever it was, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, that informs the music. So we want to be powerful and dark and imposing and dramatic, and that's the music we love. We feel represented by that music, But just to let's make some fucking noise, just to do that all the time it's just not me, certainly.
Yeah. I see. That's when it does. It's probably why I didn't ask about the question about your influences. So obviously I did read a little bit, but then when I asked the question earlier on, obviously you brought up like your mum and dad singing and obviously the classical background and stuff. To me, that was just like the start, the foundation of your influences. Stems from everything which happened in your childhood, everything which was surrounding you, what you were taught, what you listened to. Really, that's what stayed with you all your life.
Well, we can't present ourselves as constructs, as little bits of people. We laugh, we cry.
Yeah.
Cry. You don't cry because you're a hard ass.
Don't do that, it hurts.
I just want to get that stuff in them, that kind of honesty. I'm not a professional metaler, I'm not a professional anything, really.
You could be a professional drunk. Left up to your own devices, you could do whatever.
I could do that, yeah.
I think this is the difference between what I class as proper metal and commercialization metal. Commercialization metal can be very, very false, because the bands had to produce something because they've been told by their record label, they've been told by the man in the suit.
You can smell it a mile off.
Yeah, you cannot swear. You need to be radio friendly, so we need to get you out there. We need you to do this on this time scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
At that point, a band's just gone from controlling itself to having someone else going, no, I'm in control of you, this is what you're going to do.
I absolutely love what Maxdmyz did with after their album Blood Mountain, I think it was, or Leviathan was their previous album. Before that, the one I was about to mention, Warner Brothers pretty much said, oh, you have to make your sound more commercial. And they came out of Crack the Sky, this like friggin' cosmic space metal album. You're like, not bad, guys. The least accessible music. Yeah, it's like, even I was taken back as a Mastodon fan. He's like, what is this? This is different. This isn't the Mastodon I know. I mean, it's a great album, but it's a fucking real slap in the face for the record label when they came out with this. You're like, ha, fuck you.
But the machine, the market, finds it difficult to deal with things which aren't two-dimensional. Yeah. And I think sometimes youth is actually quite reactionary. I remember, as a kid, there was, I like that, I don't like that, or even when I was doing music, the riff has got to go that way, or I don't know what. And as I've got older, I've become much more open and accepting and saying, okay, let me hear it, let me work. But so this band is, in a sense, I think it's probably a difficult band to market, because it isn't just one thing, and it complicates. You need. It elicits a complicated response.
Yeah.
And.
As I tell you, guys, it's been absolutely brilliant chatting.
But we're not done talking.
I'm really looking forward to hearing the new album. Obviously, the teaser which you've got up is just like, no, it's ended. Please, what are you doing to me?
Cool.
So,
we'll send you preview copies when ready. We'll be interested to see what you think. And
write us a review.
No, actually, but let us know honestly what you think. But thanks, man.
No,
thank you. Great pleasure. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much, man.
But yes, looking forward to it. I think it's 1 minute 27 seconds. I think the teaser was. I was just like, first 3 seconds, I'm really getting into it. It's ended.
Let me just say, it's not because these guys had the good taste to interview us, but if you visit the Project Alpha website, some fantastic things going on, and these guys are just all heart and all commitment, and they deserve your support.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Nice one.
Cool. Great.
And the tea's nice as well. Get a cup of tea.